Welcome to Tea with Tanya. I'm your host, Tanya Ambrose, an average millennial navigating life as a maternal health professional, nonprofit founder, and grad student. Join me in the tea tasting room where we spill the tea on finding balance and promoting positive living while doing it all. Hi, friend. Welcome back to Tea with Tanya, transforming every aspect. And I'm your host, your girl, Tanya. You know, your maternal health educator and reproductive health educator, your nonprofit founder, doula, and just your guide to exploring whole woman wellness. Whether you're tuning in for the first time, my friend, or you've been here with me since the beginning, I am I am so grateful to have you here. Like, you have no idea how good it feels to be back here in the tea tasting room. It's been a minute. Not too long, but just a minute. But your girl is back and we're going to be here having the time of our lives in 2025 here in the tea tasting room. So definitely, I'm happy to be back. But now, by the time you're hearing this episode, we're going to be at least 30 something days in the new year. But I don't care because I am who I am. I'm going to take this time to wish you a very happy new year. And I hope that this year blesses you abundantly. Anything that you pray for, you ask for, we're going to be manifesting. We're going to be leveling up. We're going to be expanding when it comes to the things that we want to do in our life. And, fun fact, the word expand is my word of the year. Last year I had a color that was green. I'm bringing that green color into 2025 because I feel like me having the color green, it was like, a sign of success. And I had a really good 2024 as it relates to growth with my nonprofit essentially as well, and even just some personal growth as well. So my word this year is going to be expand, and I'm lucky stealing this word of the year from Pastor Travis Green because I went to church New Year's Eve and he started talking about expanding. 2025 we're going to expand, and I'm like, it just stuck with me. And I'm like, you know what? I can do that. I can expand in so many different ways as a multifaceted person. I definitely can expand in ways that I may not have thought was possible, but is possible. And in 2025, we are showing up 10 toes down, here to do what we set out to do in 2025. All right. So definitely want to wish you a happy new year and blessings and abundance in 2025. But this episode for me, my friend, is extra special because it's not just a new year for me. It is a new year, don't get me wrong, but it is the start of a new chapter for me and for Tea with Tanya, for Squad Life Cares, the many things that I do. It's definitely a start of a new chapter, and I'm very, very excited, and I'm looking forward to that. But I'm going to be honest, before we get into any updates or exciting announcements, because we do have an exciting announcement coming in the episode at some point in time, I do want to acknowledge something very important. Of course, if you are a regular listener here, you may have noticed, my friend, that I took a break back in November. I didn't mean to leave you hanging, my friend. I honestly did not. I should have had more respect or manners for you and telling you I was going to take a break, but this break does happen unexpectedly. Honestly, I had to step back for a while. I mean, I had episodes recorded, to be honest with you, my friend, but one, school was kicking my butt. School was, I'm in my last year of grad school, okay? And this last semester just almost took everything in me. It was challenging in a good way because I love a challenge. And then it was challenging in a bad way where you have group mates who aren't showing up doing the part. So you have to take on the role of two other people for a project that's meant to be for 2 or 3 people. It was just a lot. And I was like, okay, I'm an overachiever because we've spoken about it in the podcast. I am an overachiever and I had to double down. And then if I can be quite honest with you, the election season really just brought a lot of stress and uncertainty, and especially for someone like myself in a public health field and knowing what it means or how much we are needed in today's society, just seeing what was happening, that was just like, wow, here we go again. And that was just a level of stress and uncertainty that I didn't like. And I found myself honestly grappling with anxiety in ways I hadn't before. Because if you don't know, I don't know how often I've talked about it, but I do have anxiety. And I do take medication to control my anxiety. I mean, do I take it consistently? No, but don't be like me. That's not the point. But I just realized that it was just a lot, realizing that, you're getting ready to graduate with your master's degree in public health. There's so many different things that you want to do in this field, but then, things are just not shaping out because, again, of the results of the election, if I'm going to be honest. So, your girl had to take a step back because I didn't feel like my authentic self uploading episodes that I didn't really pour in my all into, if that makes sense. And I'm very big on energy, and I do appreciate you for sticking with me and listening to my episodes. So I want to make sure that I'm always showing up as my best self with you. And I couldn't do that. But again, like I said, I could have given you a notice. You know what I'm saying? I really could have my friend. So please forgive your friend. Please forgive me, okay? Please forgive me. For those of you who don't know, if you're new here or you've missed that episode, I am in the final semester of my master's program in public health. Okay, like I said, last semester was kicking me. That was my last year, and I have literally 4 more months until I put on that gown, take my cute pictures, hear my name, walk across the stage, get my degree. It's been a long time coming. I'm honestly, I'm bittersweet about this because I am a lifelong learner. I mean, I don't have to be in school to learn, don't get me wrong, okay, my friend, but I just love the idea of learning. Some reason I just love academics. Like, I just want to learn. I want to do projects. I want to write. I want to do everything. So I'm like, what am I going to do when I graduate? Because I feel like me being in grad school became part of my personality. Like, you could not tell me anything. Oh, I'm in grad school. Like, it became part of my personality. But I'm excited that the time is here. I can't believe it. Like, I just started last week and here we are about to graduate in a matter of months, you know? And I have to give a very, very big shout out to my school. They don't even know I'm doing this. I mean, those who listen, who are my classmates and other faculty will probably hear it. But I have to give a special, special shout out, my friend, honestly, to the University of South Carolina Arnold School of Public Health. Let me tell you, I am having the time of my life in grad school. The support of faculty and classmates and students, the encouragement, the so many different things that I've been able to accomplish in my time here at USC that I'm telling you, I don't want to leave because I've just been blessed to have a good undergraduate experience and then now even an even better grad school experience because again, my school, I don't know, they just create a lot of opportunities that they set you up for success. You know what I mean? So with balancing school, work, my nonprofit, and just life in general, you know, it hasn't been easy, but it has been worth it. I can tell you that much. It has been worth it. So that break, honestly, coming back to you right now in the tea tasting room, that break gave me a chance to really and truly regroup, prioritize my mental health, and refocus my energy so I can gain clarity, so I can be back here with you, sipping on some tea here in the tea tasting room. You feel me, my friend? So yeah, so again, anxiety is something that we deal with because then I mentioned that. And it's just important that we talk about these things openly, really and truly, because we have to have this open conversation. But through dealing with my anxiety, you know, I was practicing a lot of mindfulness. I leaned on my support system when I felt like I needed to, and just remind myself that it's okay to pause because I'm always on the go. And of course, that contributes to my anxiety. So I have to keep reminding myself that it's okay to take a pause. And I start having these little sticky notes, post-it notes with different affirmations or just little reminders here and there. Because if you see in the Mary Jane show, you know what I'm talking about. If not, we'll talk about it later. But definitely, I feel like a renewed sense of self and purpose. And again, it's okay to pause and take care of yourself. It's really okay for you to take care of yourself, my friend. You know, if you're in a similar place, you know, that's not that I see you. And I hope this episode feels like a safe space for you to just reset and refocus, you know? So yeah, you got us back. We are back here in the tea tasting room. Of course, send me some tea suggestions. Let me know what tea we got in the life going on. Let me know. I'm excited to hear all about it. So I'm happy to be back. So now that I'm back, I am very excited to share what's next. So let me just give a little reintroduction briefly. Okay. I am Tanya. I am the host of Tea with Tanya here that you're listening to. I'm also the founder of Scrub Life Kids, a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to supporting teens and women through education, advocacy, and resources focused on reproductive health as well. So that's who I am. Are we going here? We better get it going. Okay. But today, I am beyond excited to announce something that's been a true labor of love, passion, and purpose. And that is my new website, TanyaKambrose.com. So that's www.TanyaKambrose.com. It is officially live. And let me tell you, this has been a true labor of love. And when I tell you my mantra in life is nothing happens before it's time, this has been a long time in the making. And I sit here and think, would I have been ready 2 years ago? if I had it then or now, so I feel like I've got to a place where I know who I am, still learning, but know who I am for the most part. I'm embracing every aspect of who I am. And I am really just changing how I show up in this world, how I show up for my community, honestly. And when I say nothing happened before it's time, this is the perfect timing. And I'm super excited. So I'm going to need you, my friend, to click in the show notes, go to tanyakambrose.com, check the site out, let me know what you think, share some thoughts, all these different things, because it's been a labor of love. And I have to give a special shout out to my web designer, brand strategist, Narsha over at Create Hers, because we met a few years ago. We've been going back and forth trying to get this website together. And as I evolved, we were able to put that into the website. So it really is a true labor of love. Like honestly, like this space was like this website, this space was created with you, my friend, in mind, with you. It is a hub for resources, events, and services centered on, total body wellness and reproductive health. So, here's a glimpse of what you'll find when you go to the site, because I want you to go and I want you to let me know what you think, okay? So you're going to find women's wellness blog posts and downloadable resources. I am back in my blogging era. That's how I started. Blogging opened the gate for me to have speaking engagement and for that speaking engagement to spark this podcast. So definitely I'm going back to where it all started as well. So you'll see women's wellness blog posts. Of course, they're going to be podcast highlights focusing on minority women and health and, other health professionals that's helping to shape our community as well. And then, you'll see some other services like my doula services, reproductive health consultations, and other services to empower women to take control of their bodies and their futures. It begins with us. We have to really and truly take that control. So definitely trying to cultivate that safe space with you in mind. So for me, it's more than just a website. It is a movement. And it's really a place just to celebrate womanhood in all its complexity and beauty. Because it's, we're very complex people, but we are so beautiful inside out. The things that we can do, we are honestly just magic. But this journey to get here has been an incredible one. It has been filled with a lot of learning and growing and pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So I'm just so grateful, honestly, to be back here. And I'm grateful for you, for each of you, for being a part of this journey from the beginning, from Instagram Live to now, to even if you're a new listener, we go together real bad now, so together we are just creating something powerful. And I want us to really and truly believe that when you hear my words, that we are creating something powerful. And one of my favorite scriptures right now is Proverbs 31, verse 25. And it reminds us that she's clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. So definitely one of us, let us grow, let us heal, let us just empower each other in 2025. You feel me, my friend? You get what I'm saying? All right. So now that I'm done catching you up a little bit with my life, let's dive into today's episode. And that's going to be about whole woman wellness in 2025. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about what it means to truly prioritize your health, not just physically, but holistically. And I think sometimes for me as a health educator working in public health, it's more than just, go to the doctor, get your usual annual checkup. We want to look from the whole woman body. We want to look at it from a holistic standpoint. So that's what we're going to be doing in 2025. So now let's start with a little health tea. Before we had tea of the week or tea of the day, right now I'm trying to introduce this segment. And if you like it, it's called a health tea segment, whereas we're going to talk about exciting things that's happening in the news from a health standpoint. It could be my tea, because I got a lot of tea to spill from me personally, but it's other tea, just encouraging and learning and growing together. Because in 2025, whole woman wellness is about embracing a more comprehensive approach to our health, like I mentioned. It's about recognizing that wellness just doesn't mean eating right or exercising. It's really about caring for our mind, your spirit, and your connection to your community. And I'm very big on that community, because community is very, very important in today's society. It's always been, and we've somehow strayed away for a bit, but community is very, very important in our lives. It's important to have. So today's health tea is going to be prioritize nervous system regulation. So when you think about that, what's the health tea of the day or of the week is going to be to prioritize nervous system regulation. Because what we must remember, friend, that your nervous system is the foundation of your health. It impacts how you manage stress, me. It connects you with others and even how your hormones function. And we already know as a woman right now, we have probably one good week out of a month where we feel like we are our normal self because our hormones fluctuate, things happen. There's so many different things, you know? So when you think about prioritizing your nervous system regulation, you want to think about something as simple as daily breath work or grounding exercises that can make a huge difference in your day. Honestly speaking, because for me, I think when we're talking about grounding and these breath work, you know, I think about breath work. It's like deep breathing activities or exercises, you know, like these deep breathing, it helps to activate the parasympathetic system and that helps to calm your body down. So for me, sometimes when my anxiety is acting up, I have to just, take some deep breaths to bring me back to center, to activate that parasympathetic system because it helps the body to calm down and to heal. So you definitely want to work on regulating your nervous system. Part of that too is also nutrition. When you think about the types of food that we eat, foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the magnesium, and the B vitamins, they help to support nervous system repair and function as well. So you want to be up with your nutrients, your nutrition, your vitamins, your minerals. These are things that you're going to want to put into consideration. Then sleep. That's a big one for me. Because what even is sleep? Because if you know what time I'm recording this episode, you will be like, Tanya, girl, But the central nervous system, it repairs itself during sleep, especially that deep sleep. So it's very important for us to prioritize rest because it is really and truly essential for our healing. I know you're probably thinking, Tanya, I have to be an adult. I have responsibilities. I have X, Y, Z to do. And that is true. They recommend us having 8 hours of sleep. But I'll be honest, my reality is I cannot get 8 hours. I said I can't get 8 hours of sleep, but I can't. Maybe a smooth 6, I would. I am aiming for 8 hours because, your girl is getting up there in age now. So she got to reach me. So she's prioritizing her sleep. But I say a lot to say you definitely want to, again, do that breath work, eat right, prioritize rest, prioritize sleep so we can heal our bodies because many of our bodies, we just keep going and constantly. We do need to bring our body back and repair it as well. And then think about some body work when it comes to practices like acupuncture, chiropractic care, and even a gentle stretching alignment will help to realign the body and reduce stress on the nervous system. For me, when I was living in Atlanta, I was seeing a chiropractor every week. And let me tell you, that felt so good. But I was seeing that just to, of course, get my body aligned, but also to help minimize or reduce the amount of migraines I would have in an entire week or month. And that worked really well for me. I haven't tried acupuncture yet, but it's on my to-do list for 2025. So that's something because I want to get back into getting my monthly massages, my facials, and these different things so I can feel much better about myself, but just also pour into myself in other ways as well. So I do encourage going to the chiropractor. They do work some wonders. When we talk about gentle stretching, I just signed up for a Stretch Lab consultation the other day so because I feel like I need a good stretch. You know what I mean? Like that good stretch, I do need that. And then we want to talk about grounding ourselves. So spending time in nature or practicing grounding techniques, it helps to regulate, again, the nervous system by reducing stress and boosting your mood. You'll be surprised how taking a walk outside just for 5 minutes, how much that can boost your energy and just get the blood flowing and make you feel much better as well. And sometimes it distracts you essentially from the stress that you're thinking about. So you definitely want to lean into grounding yourself as well. And the last thing there is the trauma healing. Now, let me just say this. All of us, I don't care who you are, we are all dealing with some sort of trauma. It could be childhood trauma. Whatever it is, we are dealing with trauma. I know a lot of us are even dealing from trauma from just the pandemic alone. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to addressing, emotional or physical trauma through therapy as well. But again, I also understand that because it can help to release any stored up tension in the nervous system. But I also understand that everyone doesn't have the privilege to essentially see a therapist or even afford a therapist. And the way this society is going right now is going to get harder and harder. But there's so many other resources out there that you can utilize to get the help that you need to address these traumas that we are dealing with. And I'll make sure I have that on my website as well, where you can go to see where you can seek help. But that's going to be very, very, very important as well. So definitely want to practice your breath work, focus on your nutrition. So that your breath work means deep breathing. Nutrition is foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, vitamin B, vitamins as well. And then you want to have at least 8 hours of sleep. You want to practice some body work like acupuncture, chiropractor, or gentle stretching. And then, of course, grounding, where you're spending time in nature, even if it's just for 5 minutes in a day. And then we're going to be working on healing from our trauma. So we're going to be addressing our emotional and our physical trauma through some sort of therapy or someone that you can trust as well. Because it's not hard. Even if you can't afford a therapist, my friend, just try to find a trusting adult, somebody who you feel safe with, that you can talk to and reason with and see what that does for you and your nervous system as well. So definitely consider that. All right. So my attempt at breaking down what whole woman wellness means to me. Because when you hear about whole woman wellness, just put my name next to it right now. Because that's my focus. That's what we're doing on the entire woman. Okay. So what is whole woman wellness? For me, it's the idea that true health extends beyond just the physical. It's really about honoring every part of who you are, my friend, mind, body, and spirit, and how those elements really and truly interact within the context of your community. Whatever that may be for you. Your community could be your immediate family, it could be your co-workers, whoever it is. It's really how the mind, body, and spirit interact within the context of what your community and who your community is, right? So in 2025, I see wellness for women shifting towards topics we don't talk about enough. And that's one of my goals here on the podcast, to really just dive deep. Like what I did the last 2 years, like I said, we're expanding in 2025. We're going to be talking about topics that we don't talk about enough, and that is from perimenopause and the importance of early education. Because believe it or not, I have people who I know who are in the same age bracket as me who are now going through perimenopause. And we've heard that menopause starts at least by 50, or you may be perimenopause late 40s or 50s. But right now, I have individuals that are in my age category that are experiencing perimenopause and have no idea or even the education behind of it. So definitely going to be talking about that some more, because it's a conversation that's worth having. We're going to talk about the connection between nutrition and reproductive health. Like everything that happens to us stems from our gut. So we're going to be talking about that in 2025. That's what I see the shift in when it comes to women's health and well-being. And then also another thing that I think we will be talking about, from what I see, is how community and connection play vital roles in our overall well-being. As someone who grew up in a community that had my parents, my aunts, uncles, grandparents, and even the people in the village, that is very important, and it plays a vital role in our overall well-being. So that's what I see. That's why I see wellness for women shifting towards this in 2025. It's going to be, we're shifting some gears, but we're going to do the best that we can to ensure that we are having these uncomfortable conversations as well, and removing and breaking that stigma about certain topics as it relates to women's health. So before I go, I do want to leave some practical tools for wellness. So let's break it down. It's going to be nutrition for reproductive health. Now, depending on where you are, like what hemisphere you're in, my friend, you want to focus on foods in that season. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, then you want to think about root vegetables, leafy greens that support hormonal balance. Because again, we know as a woman, our hormones fluctuate all over the place. So you definitely want to ensure that you are eating foods in season and eating the root vegetables and leafy greens that support, hormonal balance as well. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, fruits like berries and omega-3 rich foods like fish or flaxseed also can work a lot of wonders in your life as well. So you definitely want to take your nutrition into account when it comes to reproductive health. And of course, your girl got you. She got the resources. She's going to bring the people on to talk about that. But that's just something to think about as it relates to practical tools for your wellness. Like I mentioned earlier, nervous system regulation incorporates simple practices, my friend, like breathing, like box breathing, gratitude journaling, because I love me journaling, or any sort of grounding exercise. Again, spending time in nature, it depends on where you are in the world. These tools really do help to reduce the stress and overall health, especially when it comes to your nervous system. Then, of course, the other one is to have low impact fitness. That could include yoga, walking, or a gentle stretch can improve the blood flow, and it also helps to reduce stress. But I will say, my friend, the magic is where it's consistency. Consistency is more important than intensity. You'll be surprised what a walking a mile or two can do for you in a day. It'll help lower your cholesterol. I can tell you that much, because that's me. I'm in that position. It can help to lower your blood pressure as well. I mean, that's not me, but if that's you or somebody that you may know, you definitely want to encourage walking, because I'm telling you, I mean, if you live in an area that's cold, I would advise against that, because I don't do the cold. But again, just think about low impact fitness that can keep you active because again, consistency is more important than intensity. And then the last one is community connection. So I will say wellness is not a solo journey. Like I thought it was, but it's not, my dear friend. It is not. So you definitely want to seek out local or online groups that align with your health goals. That could be a reproductive health advocacy group, or it could be a wellness circle. Really and truly, the connection matters. It's really, very important that we really and truly have that connection. For me, I just joined a run club here in Columbia, South Carolina. Am I going to be able to run? Absolutely not, because I'm going to be out of breath by the next minute. But I told him, I say, I'll be walking. Well, for me, again, it's just to have that community to try things, in a different way and stretch myself and push past the regular norm for me and just break out. So I'm looking forward to the first walk or run, as you call it, with these group of people. I'm looking forward to networking and connecting with people because you just never know. And I think one of my strengths is talking about networking, but that's going to be a whole different episode. But yes, my friend, so I want to leave you here. I know I mentioned earlier about getting some sticky notes or post-its to put the healthy that says prioritize your nervous system regulation. But before we go, if you've ever seen Being Mary Jane on BET, when MJ had a bunch of post-its that she would write stuff, she would put it on her mirrors, she'll put it above her bed head, whatever the case may be, because those were her way of, affirming her when she was having a tough time. And I adopted that time when that show first came on. And let me tell you, that did wonders to me. I fell off the wagon, started again last year. But what I was doing with that, essentially, I would put affirmations and I put it on my computer desk at work. I put it where I can see it. And then I started even doing my to-do list on these post-its as well, because it made the work, into small increments and I can be much more successful in that way. So I am adopting the post-it note, and it's going to be the whole woman post-it note. And you will hear this at the end of every episode. So you got to make sure you tune in to the end. We're going to get our post-it notes and we're going to talk about the things that we want to remember, what we're going to put down so we can progress and honestly be reminded of the magic that we are as a woman. So this week's post-it note, so get your pen and your paper. And let's remember now, get your pen, your pencil, the paper, whatever it is, and get that sticky note. And this week, let's remember that progress is progress, no matter how small. Wellness is not a destination, but it's a daily practice. So I'm going to repeat our post-it note now. Progress is progress, no matter how small. Wellness is not a destination, but a daily practice. Okay, my friend? That's all I got for you. I want to sit here and talk all day, but some of us got to go to bed. Some of us got to get ready to go to work. There's so many different things going on, but I am happy to be back. As I wrap up today's episode, I want to express again my deepest gratitude to you for being here in the Tea Tasting Room with me, for showing up for yourself, and for being part of this growing community that we're here building in the Tea Tasting Room. And of course, my friend, please, please, please don't forget to check out TanyaKAmbrose.com to explore resources, event services, and of course, tailored to women's health. There is a PDF, I spent a lot of time doing the research and I put together an e-guide and a checklist to you. So make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. Make sure you click the link in the show notes to get that whole woman wellness e-guide and checklist as well. You definitely, again, remember our post-it note is progress no matter what, no matter how small. Wellness is not a destination, but a daily practice. Next week, we're going to be diving into some disparities in reproductive health, care, and the tools you can use to advocate for yourself and others. We're going to see. But if there's any topic you want to hear me talk about, please feel free to reach out. Okay, my friend? Until then, take care, stay well, and remember, you are worthy of a life that nourishes every part of who you are. I love you for listening. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Tea with Tanya. If you like this episode, be sure to share it with a friend. Don't forget to follow on Instagram at Tea with Tanya Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the weekly Tea Talk newsletter. And of course, rate on Apple or Spotify and subscribe wherever you listen. See you next time. I love you for listening.